Good morning. Hi. Hello. Hey. How you doing? Do you have your coffee yet? You should pause and go get coffee. I have my coffee. Welcome to Periwinkle Palace Arts. Um, I'm Princess Bun Bun, here with my Bun Buns, and we do art stuff here. Pretty much the schedule is working out right now to be Monday through Fridays about 8:30 in the morning, and then if I can do it, I'll get back online after lunch for an afternoon session. Right now I'm kind of not streaming on the weekends. So, that out of the way. Next, let me mention you'll see me dance and sing and bounce and wiggle in my chair throughout the day. I might even hum or sing horribly because I absolutely need music to survive. It's equal with coffee, equal. And so since I can't put up copyrighted music for you guys to listen with me, look right here. A little screen share of my Spotify mini player so you can see what I'm listening to if you want. Paper towels, tiny paper towels. I would like to mention that I'm having a very bad hand day. I'll explain that more in a little bit, but first we need to say good morning to our buns. Bunnies make me happy. Oh, that shook my whole setup. Oh, what did I drop? It's gonna be one of those days today, and I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, I see what I dropped. So, good morning to Maya. Maya is my fibromyalgia bunny, and the first bunny I got from the store where I love to get bunnies. And yeah, she's my bestie. She has a little vibro butterfly on her tummy and some other things. And she has the cutest eyes, and she makes my day every day. Right? She sits under my laptop, so those big button eyes can stare at me all day. Next up, we have La Bibi. La Bibi. She's named after a character on a television show. She has 2 spike bracelets that are really actually spiky and pointy. Like, I thought when I saw it in the picture that they were gonna be like stuffed plush spikes. They're not. And that's what just fell on the floor is her other one. This is the chronic pain bunny. And I'm there today. I actually didn't stream yesterday afternoon because the weather attacked me. Let's put it that way. The weather attacked me, and I was just hurting. You sit in the cup holder or next to it? She wants to be in the cup holder so that she's supported well. Yeah? I know that it's ridiculous for me to have these stuffed animals all around, but I just love them so much. And this is my other bunny for the day. This is the psoriasis bunny. She has been on here before, and she's my precious. And she always comes to my desk when I'm having a flare up or when I have to do my nails. Guess what we're doing today? We're having a flare up and we're doing the nails. Let's see what's next. Okay. Oh, I got a long hair. We need bunny ears because I really, really, really don't like doing cuticle care. I really don't. love doing my overlays either, but it's a necessity. And then after we do this part, we get to do the art part. It's Green Day. Can you tell? My anxiety is sitting right here this morning. It's sitting right here. Like, it's on my chest. A whole cheerleader squad of people. I want it to go away. Coffee. Did you go get your coffee? Did you come back? Did you forget about me? You forgot about me, didn't you? It's cool. I understand being forgotten about because of coffee. It's bad when you forget your coffee, though. And I do that a lot, too. Okay. Let me separate this stuff, and then I'll start explaining what we're doing. I cleaned up my desk a little bit this morning, but just enough to put the things up here that I needed, like my nail lamp on the Lazy Susan and all that. So I had to move the markers and stuff off of my desk. Popping my back and stuff. I pulled these out. These are the ones that we just did the last time. The plaid and the sunflowers. I wasn't able to seal them that day, so I'm going to seal them today because I found my sealer. I just don't know where it's at right this second. That's my day. Every day. Today I am letting the emotional support shrimp chill on the desk. I have issues today, more than I usually do. All right, got me some torn up little paper towels. I'm probably gonna need to grab some more, but I like to make these squares out of my paper towels because I don't like using lint-free wipes. I don't like using cotton balls. I don't like any of that stuff. My nail files, one is worn down enough that I can use it on natural nails because this overlay came off. The whole thing came off. And then my my issues got me picking at my nails yesterday, and I want to show you. Okay, I peeled these off last night, and really they just peeled right off. I kind of filed them a little bit on the edges, and then I just like picked at the back side of them back here, and they started to come up, so I just sat here and peeled them right off. I filed them on the edge, on the free edge, to release the top coat, the gel top coat, so that I could try to peel them up. But they came right off, which is pretty impressive because, one, they stayed on all that time, and then, and I want to say that it was about 2 weeks. However, I was really hard on these nails during that 2 weeks because I wanted to see how well they lasted. So the fact that I still had to break the seal of the gel top coat in order to peel them up was pretty cool. And then also the fact that they peeled off so easily was pretty cool. I didn't like put any kind of solvents. I didn't even put my hands in water. So I wanted to show you also this unpeeled from that big thumbnail piece. And at first I thought it was my top coat, but it's totally not. It's like a glitter layer that was on top of the nail, what is it called? The nail wrap. And then this one I just peeled up from underneath, from underneath this plaid one, and that's actually part of the adhesive that was underneath it. So it's kind of like it's in 3 layers. They're really strong. They're really strong, and they peeled up really easily. And I don't know if that was because I put nail gel over them or under them, or if that's just how easily they peel up for everybody, but I was impressed. I'm highly impressed. Now, probably due to some psoriasis effects underneath my natural nail, the entire overlay came off. It came off by itself. It lifted a few days ago, and I just have been pressing it back down, and you couldn't see it lifting because of the nail wrap, which again is pretty impressive on the nail wrap. I'm trying. So forget it. That's the overlay. My hands are shaking so bad I'm worried about the focus on the camera. If it gets bad, somebody let me know. Okay. If you can see how bad my hands are shaking, and you remember what I said yesterday and the day before, you'll know that I've been doing these little spiroglyphics kind of in the mornings and in between, like when I need to take a break and my hands are cramping from whatever I'm working on. I'll do this for a little bit, or if I get stressed out, I'll do one of these for a little bit, or if I'm just bored. So I finished this one yesterday. I know it's hard to see on camera because of the lines, but if I zoom in, you might be able to see them. Ah. This is a pretty detailed one, but I love the pattern. So, finish that one. I'll put it over here. I put everything on the sides of me and behind me on the floor because I don't really have like much in the way of shelves over here. Just one shelf. And sometimes it's just easier. And I think that's because I work on multiple things at one time, which you'll start seeing more and more of as I do this. I've been pretty good at keeping myself paying attention and focused. But the more comfortable I get with the idea that this is going out to the whole world, the more I talk and the more I am comfortable with being myself, whatever myself is. Okay, so this one is from the Disney Book of Villains. It's a dual spiral, which is just what I call it, meaning that there's a starting point here, there's also a starting point here, and there's 2 separate lines that you got to worry about. I'm going to attempt, this one's got like thicker lines a little bit. I'm going to attempt to use this 0.3 millimeter shuttle art pen in yellow. I don't know how that's going to come out. I've never really done one in just yellow. I might end up doing yellow and then going back with black, or vice versa. I'm not sure. But we need to see how this pen is going to work on the thickness of the lines. I do not know which Disney villain this is. On the back, it was printed in the book that is number 8. No, the one behind it, after you turn the page, is number 8. So this one's number 7. We're just going to do this for a little bit this morning to see if I can get my hands to stabilize a little bit. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, this may work out. I can guarantee you I'm probably going to mess this up. My hand's gonna twitch today. My hand's gonna twitch a lot today. Now, I took a little bit of extra medication this morning because the weather right now where I live is crazy. We're not in any danger at the moment, like many places in the world are, but the weather is crazy. Stretching my hands a little bit. It's very important to do this. It also helps, you know, with pain and steadiness of your hand. I'm not saying that it's not challenging when my hands are like this, but I get through it. I have techniques and strategies that I've learned that work for me. Other people's mileage may vary. And some of it's like mental, some of it's like how you view life, and some of it's just spending a lot of time working on your physical body. Is that visible? So the first thing that I have to do to start on my nails is do the remainder of the cuticle cleanup that needs to be done. Now, over the past few days, I have been filing and shortening my nails, reapplying my gel top coat anywhere that needed it. I've also pushed back the cuticles on this hand, trimmed them with the nail nipper, and then cleaned it up with the electric nail file. And then on the other hand, I have pushed back all of the cuticles. I've trimmed most of them. This one still needs a little bit of that. And this one's just hard to do, period. On this side right here, because I have this big arthritis bump right there that kind of makes the skin grow up here in front of it real funky. So this is the hardest nail for me to do right here. I need to like run the cuticle. Sorry, I need to run the nail drill around my cuticles really well to finish everything, and then I'm gonna come back with probably either an arbor band or a very thin ceramic nail bit to hit the back of the gel overlay and to smooth over the surface, because these overlays, they're in pretty good condition, so I shouldn't have to do a ton of filing in order to clean them up and prepare them for reapplication. On this hand, I have to do complete nail prep on here, and then we will do reapplication. We're going to have to use a nail form, a paper nail form for that one, because it did break off on the side a little bit. Where are you? There it is. It broke off right there when the overlay came off. But there's no lifting anywhere that I've noticed, and I'll go through and check them all before we redo them. If there's any lifting, then I'll have to fix that. I'll check for discoloration, and that's one of the reasons that I use the builder gel in cover pink. Sometimes I do sheer pink, but I really like the cover pink. We'll talk about all that. like, I don't think that I need to do any really heavy uh, nail prep today. Well, okay, let me restate that. I don't think I need to do any cuticle level nail prep on a high level today, because most of it is already done. I've been keeping it up, remember, between between pushing back my cuticles and just doing a little filing each day. I just keep them looking decent. That way, when it's time to do my overlays, I don't have to redo a ton of things. And I'm probably just going to do another application of those nail wraps today. I'm doing that right now because I am having a flare up and I have to do my nails, but I don't really feel up to doing intense nail art right now, which I call tiny painting. But I did bring out some of my previous nail designs and experiments to show you, and I might change my mind about the nail wraps, and I might apply one of the sets I made in the past, but we'll see. I might even mix it up and do half and half. I feel like this pen is running out of ink, which it shouldn't be because this brand's making move. Brand spanking new. I'm really curious about something. I would like to know, and you can tell me in the live chat or in the comments. I would like to know how many of you guys watch the news in whatever form, and how many of you refuse to watch the news. And if you do watch the news, where's the first place that you go for the daily news or weekly news? What website, what streaming service? Social media, maybe? Look, I colored outside the line. It doesn't matter. I used to be really precious and perfectionist with this. But not so much anymore because I've realized that if you do go outside the lines a little bit, it doesn't even matter. The image is still gonna show up as long as you do the right lines. Yeah, I think this pen is gonna go out on me. I may need to swap it out and try to match it with a different yellow. So what I try to do when I realize this is a situation is I'll go around the entire circle until it meets back up with itself, and then come back in from the other side and do that circle. And then it kind of makes it look like you did it on purpose. If the color changes, sometimes you'll have that same yellow in a different color, other times you won't. So and sometimes it's just the paper, like the spirals that I do and the little mazes, these things, I just pull them out of the book. I don't copy them onto good paper. So I use whatever paper came in the book. Sometimes the pen I'm trying to use doesn't agree with that particular paper very well. Like this one is either running out of ink or the felt tip is skipping on the paper. I can't tell which one just yet. And sometimes the paper will soak up like a bunch of ink.
This is a reminder. Take it as a reminder. This is a reminder.
So I'm gonna stop right here. A little bit more steady now. I feel like I can handle it now. I work on these a lot when I'm offline. So you'll see me doing bits and pieces of them. But they'll jump. Okay. I need to trim this over here, I think. But for right now, I'll just lift up my little board. There we go. That might be too dark, I don't know. So I try to use pieces of felt to make sure that that my hands show up and stuff. Okay, that's the best I got right now. I'm looking around to make sure I have all the things I need. We may go back to the spiral back and forth throughout the day. Okay. Coffee. So, let's see if my nail, yeah, it's charged. The drill is charged. What else do I have over here that I need? Got that. And that. Let me turn these on and see they're charged. Yeah. Okay, everything's good and charged. However, I'm going to start with probably the nail file. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna do a quick little push back and clean. I washed my hands, but I forgot to put on rubbing alcohol because there's still some sticky stuff, a little bit, from the nail wraps on top of the overlay, as well as it helps for me to dry my nails out a little bit so that I can see what is not healthy live skin. Okay, I got most of the stickiness off now. There's still some on here. Ah. Yeah, there's a layer of adhesive right there. That finger is being stubborn. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick cuticle push here, mostly to lift up any cuticle that's on the nail plate. My cuticles don't even really need to be pushed per se. I'm just cleaning the area between the gel and my cuticle, and I'm not pushing back over the top of the gel. I know it looks like I am a little bit, but I'm not. And actually, this little tool pulled forward over the gel is actually pretty good at removing that stickiness that's left. There we go. This finger, I really didn't get around to doing much of my cuticle work and maintenance on it because, like I said, it started losing the overlay a couple days back. I was just hiding it from everybody. I feel like when your overlay starts to come off and that nail wrap you put on there stays in place, that speaks of some good quality. So I kind of just left it alone, and it's gonna be the one that needs the most work out of all my nails. It's also the one that I want to get the overlay done on first because right now it's exposed and at any moment I could hit myself somewhere and just like it would break, split down the middle. You never know. Sorry, this is kind of tedious, right? So I'm going to be mixing this up a little back and forth. I'm going to use the 240 side of this file. And I just want to show y'all a couple of different ways. So when I'm redoing an overlay, I bring either one of these files or this ceramic nail bit, and I just come around the back side of the nail and clean up the hump there. That's what I call it, the hump. And to do that, I go kind of like, I tilt the nail file up like this so that it's not really laying over the whole nail. And very gently, I just buff that. And then if you want to go ahead and do so, you can actually file this down and prep it. But I'm not going to do that just yet because I want to do the cleanup on the cuticles first. So I'm just hitting the very back of each nail. This will help me to not bump up against the back of the gel because the gel's not like sticking up. And so this also lets me check to see if there's any lifting that I actually need to take care of. So it prevents me from creating lifting while I do the cuticle work. And it lets me check for lifting that's further in than the very back. Another way to check if you have any lifting is to look for white spots in the actual nail itself, which is a little hard to see on my hands because I have psoriasis. So I know what that looks like. I'll try to point it out. I might miss it. It's only 9:15 and I've already finished my coffee. Wow, that's not good. So, if you can see, oh, my hands are so shaky. Calm down, calm down. Talking to my fingers. All right. Can you see how this one has more white appearance around the cuticle areas? This one doesn't. That's because of the rubbing alcohol. The rubbing alcohol helps me to see better. There. Now you can see where the dead skin is a little better. It looks like I'm just banging into my nails, but I promise I'm not. First of all, I'm working really hard to keep my pressure light. It's a constant challenge for me. So I'm not digging in this way. I'm not digging in this way. I'm just gliding it across my nail mostly. Don't need hardly any pressure. But sometimes when my hands start to cramp or go numb, I have to be more aware when I'm doing this, because when that happens, sometimes I don't really feel it at first, and I will start to apply more pressure without realizing it. All right. So now I'm just gonna finish hitting up the back. I switch between what I'm doing based on if my hand had cramps. So my hand was cramping up using that cuticle pusher, and my hands are not steady enough for me to use my electric nail drill quite yet. You'll find I also will use this nail file on my skin. It helps me to get rid of psoriasis plaques and smooth the skin. And like I said, I don't like doing this. This is boring to me. Sometimes I can get into it, like when I'm trying to learn a new way to do something or how to solve a problem, and I'll get like really into it and super detailed while I'm filing. But I mean, these nails, these overlays are pretty much still in good shape. I'm not seeing any lifting. So this might go kind of fast. I wanted to mention too, we are gonna go back and finish that Galinda. This flare up started yesterday, and so I need to get this done. I don't have products from just one place, guys. So if you want to know where I get any particular thing that I use, let me know and I will figure it out. I don't always use nail wraps, I will say that, but I just got all these from Nail Fox, and when my artistic brain is not enthused with the idea of tiny painting and doing detailed nail designs, I have not much joy for this process. And I want to get it done and over with. and when my mood is like that towards my nails. Sometimes I just go for a single color paint, and sometimes I just use nail wraps. Okay, and now I'm going to take the same nail file and I'm just going to buff the surface of my natural nail. So for the most part, I'm not going to file the free edge here. I'm just going to remove the rough edge. Oh. I don't want to really shorten it at all. So what looks like maybe some nail product left there or something like that, that ridge in the nail, it's not something that's going to come off. That's part of the effects of the psoriasis. Okay. All right. The nail bit that I usually use for this is this one right here. It's crosscut aluminum. It's very pointy, and I love this nail bit, but it's a more advanced nail bit for me to use, and my hands are really shaky, so I have to make an adjustment to my process. I'm going to grab this guy right here. It's got more of a flat tip. We're going to use this one, and if I need to, I will use one of these cuticle balls. So I really love this drill. It's my favorite. It's charged by USB-C, and it's very lightweight. It's very ergonomic. It's very handleable for me. I also like this. I wasn't sure about it when I first got it, but there's no turny thing to lock or unlock it. It just slides right out. And I thought that was crazy when I first got this nail drill. I was like, how is that gonna work? It does work. So I'm gonna start with this one. You can feel when it catches. Not coming out. The other reason I'm swapping out the drill bit is because as non-steady as my hand is right now, I'm working on my left hand first. So since that's my non-dominant hand, I want to reduce the possibility of me doing damage. So using this nail drill is a lot easier, even though Can you see the drill shaking? I'm bringing it up against the top with using the side of the drill, the side of the bit, I mean. No pressure. I'm letting the drill do the work. Don't press, you'll give yourself an owie. And also, don't leave the nail drill in one place too long. Don't let the bit stay in place. You want to keep it moving. You'll burn yourself if you don't. Part of the reason that I'm showing you this, because this is terrible. It's terrible to do your nails the way I do. But I just want to show you guys that you can do this. Like, it takes practice. It takes patience. But look, if you have psoriasis, if you have some kind of nail condition, and you also can't go get your nails done by a professional, because a lot of us can't afford things right now, or if you have a nail condition and the nail salon won't do your nails, this you can do this. And I'm showing you that my hand is shaking like crazy, but if I'm careful and gentle and patient, I can still do the work. It's not gonna, like, if I tap this up here or my hand twitches, in most cases it's not gonna kill me. It's not gonna hurt. Yes, you have to be careful. No, you don't want to do that, but if that's what you gotta do to get it done, that's what you can do. That's what you do. I mean, just, I can't go daily to the salon. I can't go every few weeks to the salon. Most salons won't do my nails anyway, anymore. And I don't like what they do to my nails because they don't know what they're dealing with in most cases. Okay. All right. The reason that I am not filing the edges or underneath is because my nail's already really short. If I can see the skin at the free edge of my nail out beyond there, then it's too short, and I'm gonna have to use a nail form. Oh, my hand is numb. Vibration is pretty bad for my hands too, so that's why I have to take frequent breaks. What time is it? It's 9:30. I'm out of coffee, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. I will be right back. I'm not trying to make it an hour and a half without coffee. I'll be right back. Yep, that fell down. I'm back with coffee. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead, swap out to my cuticle bit, the small one. Get my little rubber thingy. I have tons of them, but I don't like to swap them out. All right, so I'm gonna run this around my pinky, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the overlay for that nail so that it's safe and protected. And this will just get rid of most of what I need it to. I'll remind you that doing my left hand and also just the general look of the nail art on my left hand is always going to look worse than my right hand. Normally I won't even start on my left hand in the mornings, but this nail needs to be protected so that it doesn't do something crazy like split, peel, break, crumble. All right. I'm gonna leave that there, even though I really should do a better job than this. I don't want to. So now, rubbing alcohol. I spray it. I wipe it. I'm gonna apply this ASP Prep and Clean Dehydrator. I've been using it for years. Not sponsored. I don't have, nor do I want sponsorships, partnerships, anything like that. So I put that on first because if I put that on after I attach my nail form, it won't, the nail form will come off because of the rubbing alcohol dissolving the underlying adhesive here. Tiny scissors. Down there. Okay. I'm also going to kind of shorten the inside of this a little bit. Or rather, I'm going to deepen it. That's what I'm trying to say. To about right there, because this nail is not very wide. So this will help it to get up underneath the nail a little closer. And I'm just gonna try and get that under there like that. But I didn't cut it wide enough, so. Yeah! I'm gonna be upset if you can't see anything I'm doing in this live stream because I'm shaking so much. Okay, let's try this again. There's not a standard way that I do this. I just do it however I need to get up underneath that nail. Come on, let go of me. Okay. Get that nice and straight if I can. I really don't like using paper forms, but it's the best way for me to deal with the short nails. Okay, now come underneath. I'm going to pull these two together kind of evenly, and then make sure this is straight. Put it together, and then sometimes I'll grab the top and pull a little bit. Just pull that off a little bit and pull it back. Now, there's a lot of stuff to know about these nail forms. Like, they, for one thing, I need to cut that a little more. That's on me. There we go. I need this to go underneath the edge of the nail. So you've got length on here, you've got curved lines, you've got straight lines this way, you've got some straight lines that go across that way, I think. This is all for if you're building a really long structured nail. I'm not. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I'm gonna take this piece and stick it over one of these sides like that, and then bring it over here to stick those together so they don't come undone. Alright, made sure my lamp was on. So now I'm going to take this IBD Power Bond Gel Bonder. It is not an acid free or an acid type of primer. Doesn't etch the nail. It's more like a glue improver. I can't use products that etch the nails in preparation because my nails are too thin and it will etch them right off my nail bed. The whole nail. I try to get it under the edge of the nail there because I'm gonna want my gel to stick to that too. I scrub it kind of like I do this back and forth motion all across it to help it get into the natural like hilly parts of the nail, which is why I always do my nails like this, matte, not glossy, not shiny. You want it to be like matte. Even these nails right here, the overlays, those aren't going to be shiny when I'm ready to apply the overlay. I let it air dry for 2 to 3 minutes. It will turn shiny when it has air dried. But that's just because it's the dry glue improver. The next product we're going to use is, I use the IBD building gel. I love them. I have bright white, soft white, ultra clear, cover pink, and sheer pink. I also have one of the potted gels that are structured and you can like roll it in your finger into a ball and apply it. I haven't tried that stuff yet. Alright, I don't use a base coat. I find that it makes my overlay peel off. I'm gonna do a super thin layer for the first layer, which means I almost wipe off all the gel, especially on my pinky nail. The first thing I'm going to do is go right underneath the edge of the nail. This is why it's so important for me to get the form stuck to my skin underneath the nail, because I'm going underneath the nail, and then I'm applying a little bit on the top of the free edge. My hands are super shaky, so this isn't going quite right. And I let it flow backwards a little bit so that the gel on the form kind of flows onto the nail form and onto the underside of the free edge of my nail. This is how I cap my nails and encapsulate them, basically. But you want to use a nail form to do this because you don't want that gel on your skin. So now I'm going to lay my brush, kind of make it curving against the nail, and push the nail gel back towards the cuticle. This is really difficult. All right. So now I've got a base here, and I'm going to stick this in the nail lamp for 60 seconds. This is the annoying part. I can't think of anything to say right in this moment. Alright, so now I've got a base layer to apply the gel to. I'm going to take a little bit more gel on my brush this time, but I'm still wiping most of it off. To stabilize my hand, sometimes I put my finger against the edge of the nail form, almost lifting it up a little bit and pushing it backwards a little bit. I'm going to start here. I'm going to add kind of a blob of gel. To the side. And then I'm going to use my brush to push that gel up towards the free edge of the nail. The reason that I do this is because I laid a bit of a coat down there, but now I'm trying to build a bridge. I'm trying to build a bridge between my natural nail and the nail form. And to do that, I kind of need that gel to pool there. I'll hold it like this to make it run towards the nail, because this stuff is pretty much self-leveling. And then I'll add a little more gel. I do not put these big blobs on my actual finger nail, just the free edge and the form, because it'll burn. And we don't need to make this nail long either. But what I'm doing here is I'm basically just building the structure of the length of the nail. And then again, I'm applying the thin coat to the nail bed. And I want to check and make sure there's no space between the natural nail that I can see. It's another reason I use cover pink. It's sheer, kind of, but it's easy to see if there's air bubbles underneath it. No, I'm gonna let it run this way. Come back this way. Check everywhere. All right, now I'm going to turn it upside down because I'm going to let it kind of self-level. Check around, make sure there's no gel on my skin. I don't see any. And nuke it. 60 seconds in the lamp. If it does start to burn, that's something called a heat spike. Immediately pull your hand out of the lamp. Let it cool down. I usually blow on it like that. And then put it back in. I've had about a week reprieve of my mouth hurting. But it's starting to hurt again. I can't really find anything interesting to watch on TV right now. I might have to start watching Dr. Pimple Popper. When I get like super bored, I'll watch Dr. Pimple Popper. Usually when I'm super depressed, I don't really want to watch it right now. You can call me a nut for watching that, but that and the Toe Bros, you'd be surprised what I've learned about psoriasis and acne. And cyst. All kinds of stuff. I can't watch it for very long though. I'll get grossed out. Okay. I see what appears to be a separation on this side of the nail. I tried to get it to not do that, but it may break off when we pull this off. If you remember from the last time I did this, that happens sometimes. And if you remember from the last time that happened, well, it's fixable. I'm trying to get it to release from the form because I need to see if that's going to break. It's being a little stubborn. Oh no. Well, okay. So I can't tell if there's a break in there or if that's just a piece of a piece of the form that got stuck under there on this side. I genuinely can't tell. So I'm not even gonna try to pull that out today. I don't care. I just don't care. But now I'm gonna add gel on top of the gel. This has a sticky layer called the inhibition layer after it's cured. I clean it off with rubbing alcohol, but I try not to do it until I'm sure I have the shape of the nail down, but right before I file it, because gel sticks to gel, and the inhibition layer in between each coat of the gel helps it to adhere together. It's not the end of the world if you have to clean it before applying the next coat. It's not the end of the world, but it's better if you can apply it with the sticky layer still there. I'm kind of tapping to add a little more gel. You can do this from the underside if you need to make it smoother, faster. You just have to let it self-level. And I like to let it self-level upside down. So you can't see this part. I just realized that. I'm holding it like this, with the apex area of the nail towards the floor. And I'm just watching the shine line to see if it's smoothed out. And if it doesn't get completely smooth, that's okay. You can always apply another layer, and you can file this down. So that's enough. This is probably going to give me a heat spike because it's a little bit thick. Or maybe not. I love this coffee. It's Cella's chocolate covered cherry. So good. Let's see what Luke Beasley has to say today. Oh, let's watch yesterday's morning show. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Done. I'm giving it a little examination. Look, I got some gel stuck on my finger over here, on my skin. It's a real thin little spot, so I'm trying to just kind of peel it up. I'm not saying you should do it this way. It's just what I'm doing. Do as other people show you, not as I show you. I am not a professional, and these are not tutorials. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab, my black nippers. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Don't fall out my chair. There we go. I like to use these straight ones to go right along the edge of the nail. Be very careful. They should be pretty sharp because you don't want to clip it to where it breaks the nail. But even if it does, fixable. And notice I still haven't cleaned off the sticky inhibition layer yet. Sorry, I'm using my right hand for this, and it's not easy. Clip off the end. Try to clip it a little closer here. See, I shouldn't have did that. You see where it broke? Didn't I just say be careful? Alright, I'm gonna add one more layer, a thinner layer than last time, to just kind of even everything out. Okay, I'm gonna let this self-level upside down. But if you could see, I've got some gel. I got some gel all around the cuticle going on here. I always do when I'm doing my left hand. It's annoying. I'm just letting it level the best it will. I'm definitely gonna have to file the top of this one. If you do a good enough job, you can pretty much get away with not filing it afterwards. You just clean it, top coat it, and go. And the nail lamp. This is so boring. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Woo! We made it. And this is our nail. This is our nail currently. Looks kind of jacked, right? And you can see the little bit of the nail form under there. Usually I will go to town and get it out of there, but I'm not going to today. Why? Because I'm doing lazy nail art today. I'm gonna fold this. I'm gonna spray it with my rubbing alcohol. This is 91% isopropyl alcohol. That's how I clean them off. I want to clean it until it's not sticky no more. Oops. And I need to clean underneath too. You don't want that sticky layer staying there. Okay. I can do this with my nail drill, but I'm not going to right now. My hand's a little more steady, but still pretty shaky. So I'm gonna grab my favorite hand file, and I'm gonna go up against the cuticle here. The reason I'm doing that is because I got some gel up there. I don't want to leave it, because when it starts, my nail starts to grow out, it will need to be fixed sooner, and it will leave a big ridge back there, and I don't want that. So I'm just kind of pushing the edge of this file on the 240 side up against my cuticle, like so, tilting it, like, can you see that? Like so. So, and then I go around like that. And it will just remove anything that's back there. And go the other way too. And then straight edge, I'm gonna come along the edge of the nail, straight down. And same on this side. Alright, so now I'm going to come down the flat. I'm going to come flat on the 180 side. Don't do this to your natural nail. I'm just doing this to the edge of the gel. And I'm going to come this way. Do whatever you need to do, really, to get it even. And I'm going to come straight underneath to make sure that the edges are level, mostly even with each other. I'm not great at this, but I'm also learning how to not be a perfectionist. Okay, so we're going to use the 240 side, and I'm going to go across the top of the nail, kind of in a round motion. So I'm going kind of like this, starting with a nail file like this, laying it on there, and going around like this. This is how I make it nice and smooth on the top. You can tell when it's smooth when it's all matte. It's not shiny, because if you're doing this, the nail file will skip over the low points, right? And then it'll still be shiny in those low spots. So as you file it down, those shiny areas will disappear, because the high spots, which are shiny, have become level with the matte spots. You know, I'm really a lot better at filming when I'm doing diamond painting or coloring. I'm a lot better at that than filming my nail art, but I'm working on it, okay? If you got any suggestions, let me know. Now, usually my nail overlays come out pretty thick at the end, but I've been getting a little better at it. So when I get the form in there right, and make that bridge correctly, I get them pretty thin, and I like that, because they're super strong. But sometimes I get a big glob underneath and have to file that out. I see this little spot right here that's not exactly smooth. I'm trying not to be a perfectionist. Okay, that's enough. And now I'm going to come down the front edge again. I'm putting my thumb on the pad of my fingernail, on the pad underneath my fingernail, and I'm pushing it forward. So finger or thumb on the pad, and I push the meat of my finger forward a little bit. And what that does is make sure that even when my finger's pressing on something like so, my fingernail, the gel overlay, is going to cover it and protect the end of my finger. So I'm going to even this up, and I file it against the end of my finger right here. check to make sure it's even, at least to my eyeballs. And now I'm going to come right around the edge on this point, because I don't want it to be pointy. I like the rounded look. And once you've got your shape right, you're going to want to clean it off. My little brush under there. I love this little brush that I got from Maniology. It came in one of my monthly boxes. I get 2 nail plates, 2 bottles of polish, and a surprise gift on the Manny and Me monthly box. I love them. Okay, I was just feeling that to see if it was smooth. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. I got a little chip right there, but I'm gonna be like, I don't care. Okay. Alright, I got all the dust off it. Got any stickiness left over off of it. You can still see the little piece of the nail form stuck in there. It's black. So that's not any kind of like greenies or mold or anything growing under there. It's not even dirt. It's just part of the nail form. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and apply the top coat to this nail. And then we'll move on. I like this McCart top coat. It's my favorite. It's super thin. I usually do 2 coats over my overlays. And then when I do art, I will also use this top coat as the final layer for my art. Look, my hand is so twitchy. I think I'm about to do the other hand after I do this nail. The only reason I did this one first is because it was unprotected, like I said. So I don't know if you can tell, but I got that top coat all over the place. Do not leave that on your nail. I got it all over my skin. I'll nuke that. So you just watched me do a complete overlay from natural nail cleanup to the full overlay being done. Now I'm going to work on this hand because this hand is so unsteady. And I'll show you how I fill the overlays. It could be called backfill, I guess. They'll be pretty much a lot faster. Okay, that's done. No need to do anything else to it. I'll put a second coat on it, of a second layer of top coat on it when I do the rest of them on this hand. But we're going to switch hands for now. We're going to switch the nail bit back to my crosscut pointy bit. It's very thin, very pointy. I love it. We'll see if I can use this one today. My dominant hand is my left hand. Look, that is not the best looking overlay ever. I know that. But it's an overlay. It's done, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. So, I'm going to go through do all the cuticle cleanup on this. I pretty much got all the gel that needed to be removed from the back. Oh. Room temperature Propel should not hurt that much on my tooth. So, I'm going to do the cuticle cleanup, like I said. And then, basically, I'm just going to come in, shorten these nails down, reshape them, and reapply overlay. Okay. So gotta be gentle with this one. Real gentle, real careful. I have hurt myself with this before. Alright, I'm gonna clean underneath this one. I just want to point out that I'm not wearing a mask or eye protection. Honestly, you really should. I wear glasses. I consider them protection enough. They're not, but I can't see with most protective glasses on. And as far as what I'm inhaling, I pretty much don't inhale. Most of what I'm filing off is my own dead skin. And I'm not doing a lot of gel filing. Now, if I'm making a nail set with gel and I'm doing a lot of filing on the gel, then I use a mask, or I'll actually get out my dust fan and put that underneath me. But you can see there's not really a lot coming off of my nail here. I only do my own nails, really. So I don't worry so much about eye and lung protection. I know I should, but it's one of those things that sometimes you have to adapt and do what you need to. And when there's air flying up, dust flying up or whatever, I just hold my breath. Which is part of why I don't talk a lot while I'm filing. Alright, that's pretty good. Got a little mess right here. Ooh. That shakiness. Crud. Good, good, good. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll probably come back later with the cuticle ball to get what's up on top here. I need to set this down for just a sec. The vibrations get into my hands a little bit. So, watch this. Let's do this for a minute till the feeling comes back in my hand. That'll be either hand that cramps. Sometimes it's the hand that I'm like holding in a specific position. Other times it's the hand that's holding the drill. I mean, this is how I go about my day. Give me a second. More like those two items are equal. There we go. My husband's meeting with contractors today, so we're trying to prioritize the projects that we want to do in the house and get quotes for everything. Yeah, this pen is not doing well on here. So we're gonna go around this one and then I'm gonna look for another yellow pencil. I mean a yellow pen when I go to lunch. Ignore everything that I didn't type on there this morning, which is the priority, everything under the priorities list. Leave the rest alone. I may not be able to do an afternoon stream today, guys. We'll see. I thought you said before noon, so I thought I had time to be on the stream before we did this. So we're gonna go from here around to here. I don't usually go backwards like this on them. But I don't know why I'm doing that right now. I don't even know. I have a confession. Y'all don't know this. I don't really ever go back and watch my live streams. Whatever it is, it is. I don't worry a lot about it. Like, is that lazy of me? Perhaps. Okay. Let me see something here. Piece of plain paper. Is it the marker? Or is it the paper? Okay, it's that paper. That paper is just soaking up this ink. So, I'm gonna switch to another yellow, if I can find one, during lunch, and we'll see if another one works better. Either that or I'll have to switch to a completely different color and then just have those first two rings be yellow. Alright. Pull our stuff back to us. Why is it? There it is. I was like, why isn't it turning on? So the way I look at this is kind of like you would use a Dremel tool to carve wood or something, except it's your nail bed and your skin. So you want to be more careful. But if you're at all familiar with carving using a Dremel engraving, it's kind of the same sort of technique. You want to use a light hand, you want to let the tool do the work, and you want to be precise. And I'll move it on the side like here. Anywhere there's hard skin, I try to file that off. And now I'll go underneath. Well, actually, let me do this. Come underneath. When I come underneath, first I go up against the overlay. And then when I come back, I do the skin. Like here. That one's done. I'm trying to get this little tiny piece to get out of here. I might need to get grab the nipper for that. It's just avoiding me. I've learned the hard way to not keep going at it if it doesn't want to come off. Underneath the overlay, what I'm doing is I'm putting the very tip of the drill bit kind of angled in, like that. This helps to clean out my plaque, the plaque from the psoriasis that gets underneath there. And then come back on the skin again. Go underneath. So some of this doesn't look so great, but there's only so much I can do here. Never trust a dog to watch my food, and I like to use the word dude as a noun or an adverb or an adjective, and I never really been in the cars. I like really cool guitars and superheroes and checks with lots of zeros. I love the sound of violence. I'm live. Go ahead. Yeah. Mm-mm. Alright, same thing, right underneath the nail. Okay. My hand is now fully numb. I wasn't paying attention. I can't feel anything at all. Mm-mm. I can tell you what I get, but you know. Here we go. So I'm just going to trim this a little bit, get off these little ragged edges. Okay. I'm going to start on the thumb here because I finished with it And I'm just going to shorten the nail. Again, I push my thumb meat, my finger meat, whatever, forward. Alright, I'm gonna buff over the top. Okay. Wipe it off. Okay. Don't need a form for this nail. We're gonna prep and clean it. We're gonna go right over the overlay. Okay, and then we need our power bond. I'm gonna go over my natural nail and over the overlay the same way I did on the bare nail. I'm kind of scrubbing it in. I want to make sure I get it everywhere. And then also make sure I get the edge here. Let that air dry. I'm gonna move this stuff real quick. I can't stand it when I get all this dust on my desk in front of me. So I clean it off quite frequently. And then pretty much I'm only gonna need one coat of this. I would say medium thickness coat. So I have a bubble on that side, I flip it over. And I start at the top of the overlay and I bring that gel down. And then I'm going to use my brush to just kind of push the gel back like this. And then pull all the gel down towards the end. And go across the bottom like that. And then I got a little bit of the gel on my finger. And now I'm going to let it self-level. You don't want that gel connected to my cuticle for sure. And now we're going to cure it. That's probably going to heat spike on me. Maybe, maybe not. Alright guys, I've now shown you how I do a full overlay application on this nail with using the form, and now I've shown you how I do an overlay fill on my thumb that's curing right now. We got 4 minutes till lunchtime, so thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm not sure if I'm going to be back this afternoon. I'm feeling pretty cruddy right now, but I'll take some medicine and see if I feel a little better after that. Here we go. So that's pretty, right? There's really no need to file it. I'm just going to remove the inhibition layer and apply the top coat. So let's do that real quick before we go. Whenever I come back, either this afternoon or tomorrow morning, hopefully we will have the overlays done and we can do the nail art. I'm just clean it off with rubbing alcohol. Make sure I de-stickify all of it. And I have quite a few little designs here that I'm considering choosing between. And I'm thinking about maybe like combining a set together. I'm not sure. I think these would go together well. And I think these would go together pretty. And then these might be pretty together, but I don't know. Or with the plaid. I like that more. And then I also have these butterflies I might do on an accent nail, or I might do my whole nails, all of them with this. I don't know. But we will be choosing that at some point, and we'll be applying those. I'm sorry I didn't have enough time to do a whole hand on the stream this morning. The shaky hands caused me a problem there. But that's pretty good though. And let's go ahead and apply the top coat. Make sure I wrap underneath the nail, or cap the free edge as some people call it. And now we'll cure that. So that's how I do it. So thank you for hanging out at Periwinkle Palace Arts with me today. I'm Princess Bun Bun. Like, dislike, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to. Me and my bun buns. We'll see you later. We did art today.